EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It's the EA Sports Spring Invitational, and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And, of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
Frank, what are the factors that go into playing at elevation?
Well, first of all, try and factor in how far you are above sea level, because that's going to create the thinner air where that ball's going to keep traveling. Plus, in the desert here, we get warm air, so the ball's going to go even further. And then Wolf Creek makes it even harder because they give you these elevated tees. So it is a little bit of a guessing game, but the fun part is, though, when you stand on a tee like the second hole that's 9 stories high, and you tee it up with a driver, you really can hit the ball close to 400 yards. That's the fun part about it.
That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out. Even par currently.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Resuming the action here at EA Sports, let's go out to the 7th hole and pick up with our featured golfer. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
Now, when you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, it turns out all right.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Well, Frank, I thought that was in. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Just a couple of feet. So with that, 1 over par. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Just a bit offline.
Yeah, the hard work's coming up now, though. It's a long way away.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
Losing a bit of ground now in this tournament. With the bogey, falls to 2 over. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. And chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Could use this one. This is for par. Frank, as we look at the leaderboard now, Ricky Fowler really jumps out. He is right on the heels of the leader. Frank, you and I have covered golf around the world. I have never seen anything quite like Wolf Creek Golf Club here in Nevada.
I didn't think you could build a golf course in this sort of area like this, but they have, and they've succeeded. It's a wonderful course to play. It's so pleasing on the eye. The fact that you get to play across canyons and over desert ridges and across water, all in one little place. It really is an oasis, but more importantly, Rich, it's fun.
And the golf we saw was every bit as good as this magnificent desert backdrop. For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from Wolf Creek Golf Club. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
And he's made it onto the green. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
Frank, he could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that. Well, Rich, if there's something to be taken out of this tournament, then it's that right there. Eagle. They've been hard to come by.
Maybe you can build on that. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, you all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Now the approach shot to the 7th, and Frank, this one will get the player's attention.
It will. It'll be just a short iron in here, but a lot's going to depend on whether your lie is uphill, downhill, or if you manage to get it in the flat, then the shot becomes much easier. As you can see, the green's not very deep. So, once again, be so precise with your yardage, because if you do, you'll be well rewarded here at 7.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? So a tester from 4 feet. He'll take par and move on. Frank, this is the kind of hole that you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one off there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and that wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, well, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. There's nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah.
That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. So now he's playing his third shot, Frank, after hitting it OB.
Yeah, good tee shot, though. So see if he can string a couple of good shots together now.
Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Little redemption chance here, had bogey yesterday. Little bit of a misread there.
Yeah, it was makeable, that's for sure.
Must make this for a double bogey. Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This is a case of anything that could go wrong. Not just probably, it did.
Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Either that, shorter hitter just play to that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front 9.
That one is in the bunker. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Pretty good shot right there. This for bogey once again. Made bogey here yesterday. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He has this for par. Solid par. Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything obviously that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. A chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
Frank, as we look at the approach here at the 9th, what do you think the best play is?
Well, unless you've laid up off the tee, Rich, you're only going to have a short shot into this green. You don't have to loft it too high. You can use the full length of the green. So something coming in a little bit lower and bouncing towards the flag is probably the best play.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie.
Ooh, chance for birdie.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So just a formality here. Good putt. Now the start of the back 9 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, or as I like to call it, Mind Blower Golf Club. Frank, everywhere you look, it's just a mind blower. I mean, this one is hard to believe.
Well, this one's also a hard hole. 472 yards off the back tee. The fairway is a little wider than what it looks off the tee because that sort of desert ridge on the right side there, that blocks part of the fairway. So if you can imagine that fairway opens up a bit, then you'll be fine. A good tee shot down here, especially with that elevation there. That should shorten the hole up a little bit. 270 yards gets you past all those bunkers on the left side. They'll take those out of play. And once again, a little bit uphill, and you see the green, it shapes a little bit to the right. So make sure you're aware of where that flag is. That's an absolute beauty.
No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch shot.
Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way.
EA Sports, the Wolf Creek Golf Club, so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Oh, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. On the green in regulation. Trying to make yet another birdie. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Not a gimme, but well within his range. You always like that. Count it as a birdie. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th. It measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It's 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. And with that birdie, into the top 25 on the leaderboard. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
About this, Frank, you don't see this too often. He's setting up to take a shot from the cart path.
Different sort of drive.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Fourteenth hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone because you want to take some pictures here. Yeah. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers. 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see. The other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels and that. But let's see, birdies are to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one here. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. Shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one. I mean, just get it out.
In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem. And he's in the sand again. Unlucky. So in the bunker, getting set to play the fifth shot. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Oh, get down. Look out.
It's over. The green.
Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Here at the 15th hole here at Wolf Creek, bit of a breather here. Nice, short par 3. You don't want to miss this green.
No, that's the temptation there. If you try and bite off a little too much because it looks a little too easy, then a bogey here and you're in a bad mood all of a sudden at Wolf Creek.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Boston Championship. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. It is a gorgeous fall day here in Massachusetts, TPC Boston, site of the Deutsche Bank Championship, part of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Frank, a really good golf course and highly respected by the best players in the world.
It certainly is. Gives them an opportunity to score. Gil Hanse, Brad Faxon, they made some really good changes over the years, giving it that New England look, that old bunker style. And, of course, they've had a PGA Tour event here all the way back to 2003. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. Almost. Wow. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Nice par to remain 1 under. Here we are at the 16th now, looking at just over 160 yards.
You can sense the fear, can't you?
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Wow. That's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
So a tester from 4 feet. So a good birdie, and the score looks good too. 2 under for the tournament. Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing a lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into 2 sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it?
Chance to get it close here. Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage.
Frank, how much does that birdie help the cause?
Well, it doesn't look like much right now, Rich, just sneaking inside the top 20. But at the end of the day, that might be the one that turned the tide.
Frank, the 18th here at TPC Boston, for whatever reason, generates quite a bit of buzz, doesn't it?
It does. The longer hitters, obviously, they lick their chops. They're having a chance to make this green in 2. But if you find one of the fairway bunkers, the addition of that pot bunker for the layup, that just makes that decision that much more difficult.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck. Great shot out of the rough. He avoided all the troubles just to get that on the green.
That was not an easy shot. He'll settle. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
So that concludes round one. Frank, what's the mindset after this first day?
Well, the important thing is just try and play smart, get a feel for the golf course. That's what you try and do on the opening round. And now that the players have seen it, we should see some better scores tomorrow.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Boston Championship. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. Let's get back to the action at the fifth. Even par through the early portion of this second round. Frank, not a bad spot.
Yeah, sort of rocking on ready, sitting on go. That's what it looks like right now.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Headed for the bunker, I think. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Not too unhappy with that, Frank, at 17 feet.
No, from that distance, it's more than good.
And getting ready for the putt. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, we've seen it before, Rich. Two putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
Boy, that looks...
Even par, currently.
Frank, you know full well this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
6th hole here at TPC Boston, always a fan favorite. What do people like about it, Frank?
Well, it's like a goal kicker hole. There's these 2 big pine trees, and especially when you turn off that back tee. Hit it through that chute, avoid the 2 bunkers on the right, you're in prime position.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
2nd shot, good look at the green. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That's a well-played shot, putting the ball right on the green. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie.
That was cruel. That looked like it was certainly going in.
Just a little tap in here. Well, not in contention, but in for par. We're at the 7th hole now, a Boston strong 600-yard par 5.
But it's reachable. There's enough mounding there. If a tee shot catches one of those mounds, it could kick another 20 or 30 yards and certainly make this reachable.
Really good play off the tee, at least 300 yards and in the fairway. 2nd shot coming up here at the par 5. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Playing a par 5, Frank, what happened on that 3rd shot?
Yeah, it's a poor decision. But, hopefully he can eradicate that from the memory banks and really knuckle down on this. Do not want to drop a shot or make 6 here. Another good swing. Another good approach shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round.